So, any of you remember Motorola? You know, the pioneer of cell phones and the company that created the Droid campaign, which pretty much put Android phones on the map. Yeah, that company has been quite silent since the Lenovo takeover. Really, if it wasn't for the leaks of the possible MOTO Razer Foldable that have spurred a lot of speculation, their spotlight has been quite muted. The company invited us yesterday to an event, and I know that most of us were there to see that new foldable, and instead we got this. This is the MOTO Z4. Not quite the flagship you were expecting, but actually part of a new strategy that has brought us a new Motorola. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and let me tell you more about that. The most interesting part about yesterday's presentation was really how the company has reached profitability. How these last few quarters have seen Motorola finally see some green in the bottom line after spending years in red. They even call themselves the fastest growing OEM, which we debate, but it comes at a time when the market has contracted. Still, if you notice, the last time that we got a Moto Z with flagship specifications was like 2 years ago. Their new success strategy has focused primarily on mid-rangers, and the Moto Z4 is pretty much that. The bundle we received to unbox is the unlocked variant with a 360-degree camera. Trust me, there are better Moto mods, but fine. It's a tall red box protected in plastic, and under it we have a phone front and center, which we will place to the side. Below that, we have an interesting red box with a 15-watt charger, a USB-A to USB-C cable, and Moto gave us a pair of their headphones since there is no dongle in the box, though they do seem to be kind of forgettable. Under it, we have the Moto mod, which again, we wouldn't put money on. But then again, the Moto Z4 is here, and that's what this video is all about. Visually, if you've seen any Moto Z in the past, you're pretty much seeing this one, but there's actually a purpose for that. See, Motorola has decided to extend its Moto mod strategy another year, so this phone is modular as its predecessors. The approach is kind of weird though, as we do have an interesting lip in the design, making some of the Moto mods feel like if they weren't really designed to fit the phone's body. Still, they do work, which means your old Moto mods are fully compatible. And even if we didn't really see new ones, there's still a good list to choose from. Choices are mainly focused on color options for this phone, with Flash Gray and Frost White being the two options now in matte glass. Important changes to the design are really the return to the headphone jack, like finally Motorola realized that we customers actually prefer this. This is great. In addition, the display is also a more modern 6.4-inch Full HD Plus OLED at 19:9 aspect ratio. I say modern because there's now a notch replacing the bezels, and also because there's an optical fingerprint scanner on the display. There are no dual firing speakers, sadly. Instead, you have a module that's actually firing to the top instead of the bottom. That's definitely weird. Under the hood, we have the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 675, which, yes, is mid-range, but brings a more efficient 11nm process. There are 4 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of expandable storage, a 3600 mAh battery that's compatible with a 15-watt turbocharger. There's P2i splash-proof nano coating for water resistance, and you can make this a 5G phone with a compatible Moto mod. Now, the company made a big deal in their presentation about the AI capabilities of its cameras and everything that they built into here, but this is a single camera, which is rather odd in this day and age. The primary module is a 48 megapixels at f1.7 aperture and 1.6 microns if you stick to pixel binning, which provides 12 megapixel shots. It includes OIS and a new night vision mode the company claims, in addition to portrait AI lighting. It can also record 4K video up to 30 frames per second. The selfie camera is of a whopping 25 megapixels and also uses pixel binning to provide 6.25 megapixels at 1.8 microns, and video limitations are 1080p at 30. We will need more time to provide you our verdict on our full review coming very soon. Now, really, the biggest story is, again, the strategy, because you can get this phone for pretty much $10 a month on Verizon. Obviously, I imagine you'll have to sign a ton of papers, and I'm not exactly sure if there's a down payment, but $10 a month for this is definitely enticing. If you want it with the 5G Moto mod, that starts at $439 with new activations, and I'd ignore the $499 unlocked 360 camera bundle if I were you. Trust me, I've had this Moto mod for years and I've never used it. But yes, this is the MOTO Z4, not the Razer Foldable that we were expecting. I know that there were many people disappointed at the event, but still, wow factor aside, if we were to be fair, what we need is healthy companies that keep growing. And if mid-rangers is what's helping Motorola regain its limelight and remain as a company that competes, I would rather give the MOTO Z4 a chance. I mean, for the price tag and for what you're getting, I think that this is actually a really good phone, but obviously we would love to know what you think in the comments down below. Let us know if the MOTO Z4 is something you would consider, and while you're at it, subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon as we publish videos every single day. Also follow us on social media as our extended coverage happens on Instagram. I'll also drop my personal handles in case you want to see my experience using cameras on these phones in my day-to-day use. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.